Believe we're here we are. I believe we're starting. Welcome everybody, Randy, aka Jedi One, and said crew. We have this is going to be a predominantly dominated by female chat tonight, and so
Yay!
that's all pre-planned, and I don't have any audience participation. It should go real well. No. Let me just go right ahead and start into this. We got a little bit to cover here. For those that are just coming, if you have been invited by someone else, welcome. You're the most important person in the room this evening. If you are on the panel and you have background noise, if you mute yourself, both ladies there and Valerie, let me see. I'll do that for y'all real quickly so that you won't have any problem. Here we go. Okay, we do have some feedback somehow. How is that happening? Okay, we're going to have feedback all the way through this entire show. One of y'all can unmute and tell me if you hear feedback coming through your microphone.
Nope. I'm
Nope.
good.
No, I don't hear any.
Not on me.
Okay. I'm just going to have to bear with it because we're looks to be about a 15-second delay, and I'm hearing things in my ear that is something that I have said 15 seconds ago. So I'm just going to have to bear with it. Somebody just muted that out. That's a good thing. All right. This should be interesting because I'm able to say something, and 15 seconds later, if it would allow me to edit it, whatever I said, because I'm hearing it again in 15 seconds, so stand by. First of all, I would like to let everyone know that we have found that if you will notice, I'm going to screen share for just a moment. And we will go to Google Chrome right here. We'll go to Fit. And then I wanted to point out that on the, this is the YouTube that's streaming. I wanted to find the one to where we had, there is a link to YouTube. That's what I want to show y'all. You'll see this highlighted in blue. I do believe that this link right here, this address, is going to be something that you can go to and find out the countdown timer of the next Hangout that we're going to have, because I know that you see that there on the screen now that you're going, this is delayed. But you will see that this address up here you might check every day, and I'm going to take this off. You might check every day so that the timer would allow you to see when the next Hangout is going to be. Okay, moving right along here. Over here on the Fit site, this is where everybody can go for information. I want to go over because we have had some very good input from Kevin and a couple of other people about what we offer here at Fit. We have another document that I'm going to just cut and paste into this section here that tells you the products that we offer. They're virtually delivered, and so that will be a little clearer. Pretty much the document that I'm going to be putting in is going to be verbatim, almost for word, but everyone seems to like the other a little bit more, so I'll put it in, and then I'll have these centered on the left side. I believe this might be what's throwing them off because they're indented. But once you get inside, one of the things I want to point out that once you join, you can go to the newsroom here, click on the newsroom, and you can go for all the updates that we do and some of the articles that I put out late at night. Like this one was last night around, it will show today, but it was around 1 a.m. that I put this one out. So you can come here in the mornings and in the evenings just to check. A lot of times I'll have a morning show that you'll see down here somewhere. And it will be the morning weather report with suspicious observers and just some highlights that I might have found the night before that would be of interest that you may need to know about on the facing the day, if it's something that would be of that level of importance. Then we have over here on the This is what people are seeing inside of the, when you're watching from the Google Plus, just giving you all an idea about that. And also, this is the platform that you'll land on Google Plus. When you get an invitation, it will have the time and what have you. And then when you're if you're watching from Google Plus, you're watching this right here now. The rest of y'all will be watching it from YouTube over here. So that's the kind of a flow of things. I'm going to bring this back over to just the fit side itself and let you look at these things while I'm chatting with you. And I'm going to go back to the and unshare the screen so we can talk. Now, that's the foundation. Can y'all hear me okay? Someone can unmute and say yes. Hi, Lucy.
Hi.
Can y'all hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, because I'm coming off of my camera. Hi, Troy. Coming off of my camera microphone instead of these because I didn't have it set up properly going in, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me. What I'd like to go over today with y'all is that we do know, and by the way, there's probably someone watching right now that is just laughing her head off. She is a very sweet person. Active action word, sweet. She's just like a little cube of sugar. And she's probably just laughing her head off right now at me struggling through this hangout because she knows how to do one real well, don't you? So not too distant futures, we might have someone that would help us out in this area a lot that's really, really versed in it. Some may know who I'm talking about. Active word, sweet. So the main thing I want to go over today is that we know that we have challenges. We know we hold a very precious gift in our hands. We do. And if you haven't gathered that, I'm sharing it with you now. Very rarely in a person's journey of life will you find a group that is putting together an organization, a gathering of people, and the whole thing is designed so that the next person coming into that group can make sure that they're financially fit. And that every single smidget is leaning in the favor of achieving that. Because most places have to operate with a profit margin. And we will have what we'll call a reserve, that $5 reserve, that we'll have to be able to use for giveaways and things like that. But 30 of the 35 of our subscription to Fit Financial is given back to those people because we want to proliferate the word about our mission and what we're all about. And segueing into that is we are a group of people that realize, just like this panel that you see down here below, we don't come together and speak specifically about any one thing. We all bring our hearts and our passions to this group. And then with those passions, we have other people that are of like mind with whatever that may be that they've collected together, and we all meet here. Many, many different walks of life, many various interests, it does not matter. What matters is as long as you are focused on the fact that we have issues, clear issues, undeniable issues in our world today. And by being aware of these things and being able to go to a place that can offer you non-biased, no agenda findings of what they consider to be of value, that is a very cherished a gem and commodity to find. There's a lady on the panel here, Valerie, that is extremely versed in the things that I talk a lot about, which is these people have gone nuts on fraudulent action, gone awry. Oh my God. They have infiltrated our actual being, and I'm talking about the financiers of the world, those that got a real strong foothold many, many years ago, back in the 30s of the last century, and have woven such an intricately tight web that you can't even see it. People that are caught up in it will give their life for something that is stealing from them, taking their freedom away. Okay, so you see my passion. as Valerie's and others. And we all have other passions that we have. And passions may not be a descriptive word that fits it well. We have things that drive us, that make us tick, that make us get up in the morning, or sometimes don't want to get up in the morning because it is so overwhelming to think that how in the world can we stop that huge wheel from turning? It's made out of solid rock. It'd be like Fred Flintstone trying to stop a 15-story rolling wheel by himself. Fred's over there in the chair, or whatever his name, Barney, not helping out. That's the austerity. Barney's on the austerity program. Fred's out there doing the work, but Barney's over there having a cocktail, whatever. So, and you wake up to something like that, you wonder, what in the world could I, an individual, do? Well, the first thing you can do is change the way you're thinking. We have become aware. There's a lot to this thinking thing. There's a country song. What in the world was I thinking about? Well, I'll tell you what you was thinking about. It probably was worth getting shot at by someone's daddy on the front porch. But you were thinking, that person was thinking about it, drove them to whatever the action was that was the end result of several thoughts stacked together. That's how this thing works. And it's becoming quite apparent to some of us that we need to show other people things that we're becoming aware of in our own life experience. It has value to share with someone who might not be quite getting there. Someone who may have just been riding down the road and a street light goes out while they were thinking about something real hard. Happens a lot to some of us. And then you put a lot of those little coincidences, stack them together and you start thinking, goodness gracious. Someone calling, like Troy calling or something. Did we lose Troy? Or Lucy, be thinking about Lucy or Jamie or Kathy. And all of a sudden we hear, or thinking about something that they're interested in. Like Kathy shows up, here in our world. She's a new member at FIT and has got a well of information that we find quite worthy, with a lot of value. And so we take those life experiences and we share them with others. You can't put a price tag on that. That is one-to-one sharing one's truth. In this journey, we become and we see that we're able to discern better because we're focusing on the real truth or seeking the truth rather than buying into all the propaganda and drama that you'll see in mainstream news. That is designed to keep people totally fragmented as far as their focus, in fear that apocalypse is coming tomorrow. We're going to have an EMP. The dollar's going to crash, which it is. And they're coming over from the next county. They're taking over the sheriff's department. Whatever. Not saying those things wouldn't happen, but as long as we're aware that these things are fermenting, then we diffuse the fear. Can't put a value on getting that kind of information, rather than it getting just thrown on you. We are forethinking. We're seeing beyond their headlights, and we're creating a different mindset. We're thinking today, we're thinking tomorrow, right now. That's really the way that this works. If you honestly start grasping that and start living it, there will come a point in time where there will be a very thin line, a very, very, very thinly blurry line between tomorrow and today. Because we sit and we think about things we're going to do tomorrow, and if you think about them hard enough, then you're going to experience it here like this when the sun comes up the next day. And if you think good thoughts about tomorrow and you believe in this process that I'm telling you about, it will shock you of what will start happening in your life. What does this have to do with you making more money than Bear has aspirins? That's probably what you're coming for, and that's okay. Because Mayor Ansel Rothschild once said to his 5 sons, "Show me something that we can give to the minions that will help our agenda, without them knowing it, and we can win any battle. That was Mayor Ansel Rothschild, father of Nathan and the other 4 sons. We're living the wake of those little family chats right now. And so by studying these people and what they did methodically, some of us, when they were doing these things, they're human. Some of them, I guess. If they can do it, we can do it better. There comes a time to where the teacher becomes the student. Hi, problem child here, problem student, catching on to what you're doing, and I'm going to be telling a whole bunch of people, okay? So this thing is being fought from a spiritual perspective, not grab your sword and turn to John 3:16, although that wouldn't hurt. But the fact is that it's being orchestrated inside the mind. Wow. Should we call it an intervention for the poor fellow in the deep woods of East Texas, the piney woods of East Texas? No, wouldn't call it an intervention quite yet until I'm finished, because this is real. And we can take you, those members here, into that newsroom that I was just showing earlier, and we can show you things that you will have to go, oh, now let me reread that. Or, I need to watch that again. What did they say? And how many people are locking step with this? And they have PhD in front of their names? Or some of them are just woodchucks from wherever. And it's validated that these things are happening. Give you a very, lights just come on a little brighter, didn't they? That's that smart meter. I'm graphing that thing. I'm in a room that has no windows. Why would that happen? It's a smart meter. Another topic, more value for being involved with some people you can trust. There's a lot to talk about smart meter, eh, Val? So we'll talk about those things. Back on point, however, is that I'm going to show you something that there's no reason that we can't do the same thing. And everything I'm talking about has to do with how much moolah you're going to rack up, okay? And once we're past the racking up of the moolah, then we can get on with the real work at hand. Stay with me. Let's look at old Rothschild and all the descendants and the tentacles that have gone out, and these people are beyond wealthy. They're in that stratosphere of the upright Homo sapiens sapien at this point in our evolution that money is not even, doesn't even cross their radar. Because when they wake up, they don't have to worry about the money. They make the money. They print the money. They don't have to worry about the money if they're going to go build something or create something or have something done. They print it. They don't have to worry about the infrastructure or the scientists that they have duped into the Carnegie Foundation. They farm for these people. If you've ever watched Luminosity on you see that thing pop up, they're farming for kids. My son said that they offered him something on a contest. He won a little contest. They want him to come somewhere. I said, you're kidding me. They're farming. That's what they do. And then they take the bright ones, put PhD in front of it, create a theory, start piling it on, and it becomes fact in the medical world. That's how these things happen. So they wake up and they don't have to worry about all the infrastructure if they got a new idea. They just have to think about it. That thing drip again? All they have to do is think about it and it will manifest. We can do the same thing. You're participating in one right now if you do have the foresight to be able to grab a hold of what we're talking about here. It's a little hard because it's free. But you do have to put out some effort, some work. We're leaning over backwards to help you. The first thing you're going to have to do is know that this manifesting process we're talking about is real. There's no other way it could be. If I want to get up and go out and leave and go out of this room, the first thing I have to do is have an initial thought to do so. And I continue to build for you know it. I'm getting up and I'm headed toward the door. It started with a single exciter thought. If If you want to be successful, start that thought right now. Start living where you want to be Friday. You've heard all this garbage before, but let's just try it out. Hey, let's just really give it a whirl. It will work. It's working for me. And it's the only thing some of us can do at this point to hold on to. So what do we have to do in order to make people see this way? We have to dangle a carrot. And that carrot is this thing we call a system or a platform. Our product is basically the one of the highest values of items that we offer is you in your life experience. Don't you think you're worth $35 to share your life experience or some of your areas of what we'll call your expertise? If someone asks a question in one of our forums and you're the only one really that could answer that the way that that person needed, you cannot imagine how valuable that is. And we have a lot of ways that we want to use that $5 that's left over after we disperse out to our members of the subscription fee to be able to anoint people that we recognize that are helpers, that are answering questions with honesty and links and verifying and what have you. That carries great value to us and all of our members. We want to be able to give them a monetary gesture for demonstrating that helping spirit as well as truthfulness. And we'll start building a culture of truth and helping each other. We're going to need that. We're going to need that if the whole world turned to unicorns and rainbows tomorrow and the Fed went away and all that business. If it was that way, we still need to connect. We as humans need that gregariousness that we can trust. Gathering together in flock or whatever. That's healthy. We've gotten to the point to where we don't have time to think twice. Everything is so packed. Got to do this, got to do that. We teach taking 10 to 15 minutes a day, and Valerie and Kathy were just talking about this earlier when we were in the green room, is that there's a lot of merit in listening to properly delivered music that has certain frequencies. And that's, strange as it may sound, you don't think it sounds a little weird for an East Texas redneck oil field hand to be talking about frequencies and elevator music? It's a little different, but let me tell you something that I have personally found, that if you can get just past goofy when you're doing that, lots of things happen. So, for those that wonder how you can monetize everything that I've just talked about, here's one thing that runs common through all the threads, whatever you're looking for out there, if you're looking for a means to generate a secondary income. Compare them apples to apples, what we're doing and anything else that you find. If you find something that offers something that is easier to do, equal to or less money to get involved with, and please don't bring me Kayla and what's her name's $18 and you're going to make $600,000 in a month or a year. Don't bring me that. That's a cycler. That's a force field matrix. Follow me. And that's the only ones at the top went on that deal. We're not doing that. We have a one-line affiliate, so everybody's even, including me and you. I've got, I think, 4 or 5 people that I have personally brought in. That's it. I'm going to cut loose and work here once I get everybody in safe harbor. And the system is peaches and cream. And I'm able to tell my sweet friend that let's drop the reins and let the horse run. So stand by, because I'm in this too. I need revenue like everybody else. And I'm very passionate about spreading the word that someone has stolen my country, that many of my personal friends gave their life for. And I want it back. The only way that we can do that is we have to have spiritual warriors, ninja warriors, galactic ninja warriors that understand that when you reach a critical mass of a certain amount of people in a finite number, and that means planet Earth or the U.S., and they know how to focus intent. Another way of saying meditate with focus. Pray without ceasing. Whatever the term is that gets you connected to somewhere outside of yourself. and you understand this dynamic, when we call the roll and we say, okay, now that you have seen that you can put a little weight down on what the lunatic from the Piney Woods of East Texas is talking about with this system he's been blurbing about, and you start seeing that working for you, where now you can say, remember when we all said, I have never made this much in MLM before, all that. That's because there wasn't really a product involved. There wasn't a company involved at the time. It was just cutting it down to the bone as it possibly could. Well, let's do this. Let's get rid of even the little thing we were buying then, which we have. Now we're just dividing up the whole pie except that 5. Okay? Can't get any better than that. You can't get any better than that. If you can, don't be greedy and not tell us. Look at what I'm going through over here. If you got something that has just as much ethics and honesty and pouring of our hearts out, and that you can trust every one of them in there, and we even have little check points to make sure we can filter out those that might be backsliding in truthfulness. If you can find one, would you please tell me? Can you see that I'm working myself to a bone over here trying to get people where they can make some moolah? I don't think you're going to find it, so heads up. Is that what we have done is this information that we share, that Valerie spent 2.5 hours last night on Max Resistance. Y'all need to get over and listen to Max Resistance as well as Truth Frequency Radio. And those are, and above all, Phoenix Rising Radio. He trumps all of them in my book, my opinion. He is a Ranger, ex-Ranger, and we harmonize real well. Phoenix Rising Radio over on Blog Talk. He's on right now. And but when people like Valerie and Phoenix and I make an attempt of it, these things that we talk about are not, we don't just do it because we're kooks. We do it because we care about this country, we care about you. But most all of those out there, and I haven't seen any of them that are proclaiming this, what happens is they're telling everybody, my God, you're fixing to come over here and fry you on a stick, like a marshmallow. You tell them all about it. I don't know which is worse. I was telling Valerie and Kathy, I don't know which is worse. Knowing that they're fixing to fry you, or knowing, and you can't do anything about it because you broke, or not knowing at all. All of a sudden, just you're a marshmallow. But by knowing they're going to do it, you can't do anything about it except listen to that last show and they're kicking the door in. Because the whole time you wish you could go prepare, but you stone cold broke. Can't have warriors going to battle like that. That's not the ninja warriors I'm looking for, so we have to have a way to put something in the saddlebag that you can work with. And I've been trying to tell these other outfits, and they think I'm out to get them. I'm not out to get them. I'm out to get my country back. That's what I'm all about. And in the process, you tell me that this isn't divinely inspired, if that isn't a word that makes you want, go sideways on me. You tell me the stars had lined up on this, or all the tarot cards, whatever. Tell me this doesn't seem to come together real well. You proclaim something that you should be doing anyway, like Valerie is doing and others out there are doing, but yet you make more money than you could being an oral surgeon or something crazy. And the only way that you could get that wealthy is to make a whole bunch of friends. Stop right there. Is anybody catching on to this? God. It's let me tell you, the hardest thing that you're going to have to do with this is convincing someone that it's real. That's it. I am very grateful that we have had some self-governing, self-choking, if you will, that's an oilfield term for making it go slower, and having a controlled rollout than having if everybody was to catch on all at one time, stuff would break. I mean, pow, because this is so right in your face, real, that people can't even see it. Let me run it down to you. Number one, we have a virtually delivered product. I don't care if it's selling siding on the side of, selling siding, go out and remodel people's houses. There's a raw cost that costs the company to make that siding. Or if it's vitamins or whatever, or it's some home-based deal. I mean, like, there's a raw cost, siding or pills, whatever, widgets. And then the company's got to have a little bit for the electric bill. Got to add that on to that dollar. They would call it the raw cost of the dollar. Got to add a little more on there for the phone bill, for the office bill, furniture, secretaries, shipping. Let me get over here a little bit. CEO pay, XCO pay, SOB pay. All those pays, you got your dollar over here now, remember that. And then they're going to put on this much at the end, right about that much. And that's how much that's how much they're going to let us divide up. You better be at that rally. Because if you don't, ooh, buddy, we get rid of all that. All that's gone. All that's back down to here. Isn't that a better picture? Doesn't it seem like a little better? But they all say, oh, Randy's over there. He's got a pyramid scheme going. Let me tell you something. That is a business model that's acceptable in the eyes of Caesar. As long as you have a valid product, be it either tangible. Here's one tangible that I happen to get with a little Bob. I'm giving you a little plug here. Boomer Boost. That's an affiliate program too. I make about $1,000 a month off this, and I take it too. It pays for it. And I never have conference call, nothing. People, their lives are being saved by Bob, and they keep buying it, and I keep taking it, and I get a check. That's the kind of deal I like. I never think about it. It just comes in the mail. The one's due right now. So you eliminate all these things, and then you try to explain to someone that our product is virtually delivered, and that the whole thing is designed so that when someone comes in, we know it's designed to help the members. The whole thing was designed, the subscription was designed so we can give it back to the members. Not many companies do that. So, being broke, most people being broke, they don't have to wait till they get 1,500 people in their downline so they can make $75 or $100. And that's just to break even. No telling how many months that'd take. Ours is smaller in startup, but as soon as you go out and show someone this, they see the value of what we have to offer and how they know that they need it. They join. That person that enlightened them is going to get 30 of their 35 back. Boom, it's done. The second person, they're in the green. Third and beyond is nothing but gravy. We have other things that make it real magical, and from that point on, it's up to you. From this point on, it's up to you. That's something they're not going to tell you. I have a funny thing happen today. I was listening to an IQD crazy call. It comes on about noon every day. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Not a bomb, not TNT, not a bomb. But anyway, this person had been in MLM for years, and he was talking at the end of it. He said, I've decided that if I was to go back into that, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to be a whistleblower. These people steal. Well, I won't go into that, but I would love for people to do that, but it would be hard for any company to do what we're doing because we don't have any overhead. We cut it all out, and we give it all back. So after you come in, the very first person that sees the value and joins, you're close to having it all back. You're 30 out of the 35. Second one, you're flush. Third and beyond. And all you've got to do is what Kevin teaches and what I'll teach. At that point, just be making friends. Just call your friends. Like we taught this panel, and I'm going to let them come in here in just a second. We talk all day long. Some of them at work, when I talk to them at work, we're researching all day long. How would you like to do that? How would you like to sit and do whatever you like to do and get paid to do it? And then come tell us what you just did and get paid to do that. That's what we're offering to you. We have ways that the group is, we want everyone that's financially strapped to have a shot. And we offer people the ability to come in for a period of time and take a look around. We do know that the processor we use, which is STP, takes a little time. We're working on something now to be able to, I'm not saying it will happen, we're just, everyone think about it, and of being able to go direct with credit card payment. Don't lock onto that. We're just trying to manifest that now. But we will have easier ways to enter in those troubled areas that are having states that are having issues. We will have something streamlined, and you will see that in the internal emails that I send out for all those that are members over there. So we're back on point. We understand that some people are financially in a down ballot, broke. We offer them a time period to be able to come in and do sweat equity. Go out, sell our site subscription. When you sell it, you're going to earn some money. It won't be as much as if you bought in, you know, and had the full subscription. Again, not that we're making any money, because there ain't no we up there. It's just us individuals. When you have someone come in, we don't want to start creating a mindset of get something for nothing, because we're in that mindset. Unless someone has skin in the game, it's virtually, they've already agreed, the person that gave it to them for nothing and the person received it for nothing, they both agreed spiritually that it's worthless. So this 35, we could have set it at 3,500. We could have set it at 35 cents. But we set it at a point because we don't have a motivation to hit the big lick. We're trying to get you out of a bind. Our ratio might be lower as far as the amount of exchangeable medium you'll get back, but our percentages will just blow everybody away. So I asked our programmer, after we had got this thing pretty well lined out, I said, what's their downside to this? And the answer was this: nothing. There's no downside. That's hard to tell somebody. I'm going to lay something on these people that are inviting folks. The people that I invite in, I'm going to offer to those people a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Personally, those on my front line. I urge every one of the people that are going to go out and spread this to people, especially those people that are going to be doing it for a revenue stream. And I'll tell you why. You're not going to let that person fail. That's the way it should be done. We have it set up also that you can't sit on your laurels up there if you want to hit that big one, because you're going to have the trickle. So as soon as someone gets, is helped by their inviter to get their first person, guess what? As soon as that happens, it triggers something that notifies someone above. They just got their first one. Now you're going to get a little joy by helping that person get their second one. So we have someone else helping you get your second one. And in that third one, the person that invited you, whoever invited them, is going to help you from that third person, as many as you want to bring in. That the inviter of your inviter is going to be riding with you forever. So we're one big old family here. So you can be getting people underneath your first, third, and beyond every second person that is generated from the second person in every one of those organizations, going all the way downhill. And you can call someone 6 months from now that just got their first person. They're way down there somewhere. And say, hi, I'm Jamie. I'm Bob. Or I'm Randy. I see you just come in, and I want to help you get your second person. Well, you're so sweet. You can tell them that until they figure out what's going on. It's because you got you have a little self-interest in there involved. That's what's going to get you. When that happens, way down there on that second person, you're going to split that 30. You're going to get 15 of that. Whoa, way down there, underneath your first, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all the way to China. All the way wrapped around the world this way, and all the way to China and back, up and down. Deep. And then I get an email. That sounds really good, but let me tell you about our comp plan. Oh, God. I just go, oh, my God. Did you hear me? That's all I've got. I would urge you to take a strong look at what we have here, and I'm going to open this. I'm going to quit screen sharing. I think. Just a minute. And then, oh, I'm not screen sharing. Valerie, would you unmute and share your words of wisdom with us, please?
Well, I don't know about wisdom, but experience maybe a little bit. I'm glad you brought up Max Resistance because I do think that it's a site that everyone should really check out, maxresistance.com. It was.
Speak up a little bit, Valerie.
Oh, sure. It was maxresistance.com was started by a couple of friends of mine, and one of them I've known for several years. She also has a really great news site on Facebook called the Global News and Views. And she hooked up with this woman in Canada and another guy, Max Malone, who's a big YouTuber, and they decided that they wanted to help out the YouTubers who were finding themselves being taken down all the time for trying to spread the truth. And so they've become a platform for a lot of people out there who are really doing some amazing, wonderful work. And every Tuesday night they do a roundtable discussion that's really worth listening to. It's at 8 o'clock. But last night, as Randy mentioned, it went on for 2.5 hours, which they've never done before. It's archived over there. It was the best show they've ever done, and I really strongly suggest everybody go take a listen because we were talking about, well, a lot of things, but the TPP for one thing, which I think a lot of people need to understand because it's going to seriously impact our country. And there was a lot of good information shared there. So,
Valerie.
Yeah.
Share with them about the schematic.
Oh my God, that's a hard thing to even begin to discuss unless you actually see it. But for those of you who go and watch that the archive of last night's show, you can even fast forward. I don't even know how far into it.
I have a link to it, Valerie. I believe I have a link that I can share. We'll take them directly to the PDF.
Yes, there is a link to it. They actually have a video on the Max Resistance site that goes over it. So if you go to the site and look at the videos, you'll see it. It's entitled the New World, something about the New World Order, but you'll see it.
I'll put it in the newsroom.
Okay, that'll be great.
Let me do this, Valerie, if I could. I want to let everyone know that Valerie is inside over at Max Resistance. We have people that are inside at Truth Frequency. We have people that are inside over at Alex's deal, Jones's deal. We have people that are inside of all these various places. Kevin loves this Bishop's observations as far as weather. We have operatives in all of these venues that have this information. Valerie follows real closely what they share over at Max Resistance. What we'll do on calls like this is we'll call on folks like Valerie and the others that we'll call on, and some will be just personal experiences of what's going on during the day, but these news places so that you don't have to get caught up in the drama and get the emotional part. Valerie can come in a condensed time period, share with you the highlights of like last night's powerful show. It's 2.5 hours long, and we don't have the time to do that. But she can hit the high points on it, and y'all can be versed. That's value here to be able to say, well, goodness, I wish I'd have been over on that one, but it was going on the same time that Popeye was doing something on frequency, Truth Frequency, and Phoenix Show was running. So if y'all can see what we're doing, we have operatives that are out there gathering information. And what was the high points of what y'all had last night, Valerie?
Well, as you mentioned, it was not. It started out being the Trans-Pacific Partnership, but they did bring up the schematic. Now this was given to my friend Terry by a very, very, very high up in the government insider. She's got unbelievable connections, and the guy had been sitting on this for a number of years and trying to dissect it. But what it was a multi-layered schematic of the New World Order.
We're talking businesses here that y'all would know, and it is so intricate. This thing is so detailed, and when you magnify it 200 or 300 times, it's like just dropping off into an abyss of various things that you'll see that are connected, and then all of a sudden, at least for me, when I was researching, I went, goodness gracious, nobody would spend this much time putting something like this together unless it has to have some degree of validity.
Oh, it does, and it's way. If you watch the video on the site, it's overwhelming. It's absolutely overwhelming. And the important thing to know is what they showed in that video is just a very small portion of it. But what they also talked about last night, and I knew this was coming because Terry had told me about this a while ago, and they actually have a new, well, I don't want to say a new version, but maybe a new layer of it that's been released that again it's just mind-blowing because they go a lot into like the pharmaceutical end of things, which really wasn't covered as much in the other one, but it's so convoluted and so just, I keep saying mind-blowing, I don't even know what else to say, but we all know that they're out there, we all know that they're doing this, but when you see it on paper, and how it's so interwoven.
I'm still baffled at why people can't catch on. It's the normalcy bias that's happening to us all. There's no question about that. But that's what Valerie's going to bring to the table. Others that follow Max Resistance in that theme as well. And I appreciate you sharing that. I'm going to go over here and grab someone else. So in the essence of time, Valerie, thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
Sure thing.
Now, here is Kathy. If you could come out, Kathy, unmute. Kathy just joined yesterday, I believe it was. Could you tell us your feelings about what you think about our little mission here, and a little bit about the interesting part that I find of your life experience is the holistic frequency side. But what do you think about us and what we're attempting to do within a 24-hour period of joining?
I think what you're trying to do here is magnificent. It's attempting to create a substrata of cooperation and sharing that is actually going to create monetary freedom for people, and I get that. I like the idea that the value is the sharing of one's life experience. The people that are here are amazing group of wealth of intellect and knowledge and heart. The spiritual part of it is something that's really big for me. I appreciate the fact that people are coming from their hearts and sharing here, and also dovetailing each and everyone's different pieces of the puzzle, and creating this brain trust of magnificence here. I'm very, very excited. I'm honored. I'm humbled to be part of this group.
What now? Are you involved in what happened here? How did that pop up there? Are you are you involved in some areas of your life experience with some sort of hypnotic therapy?
Yeah, hypnotherapy. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I'm a Reiki master of both Usui and Saishin tradition. I'm a clinical nutritionist, and I'm an insurance broker. And I also do, I do energy work with people. I used to give talks on how to tweak your DNA by bathing your biology in high-standing wave formations like happiness, joy, love. It's not selfish in the least bit. In fact, it's the most unselfish thing a person can do, be happy. If you go through your life and you be happy, you're impacting the web of everyone that's connected to you, and everything is all connected. So if you're able to impact the web in a positive manner like that, you're not only helping to create more happiness opportunities to come into your life, but you're also creating it for your brothers and sisters out there as well.
Kathy, I'm glad that you're here. It lets me know I haven't completely gone slap nuts, and if I have, others are starting to get there in numbers, and before you know it, slap nuts will be the norm. Is that the way it works?
That works.
Thanks a million, Kathy. Look forward to hearing more from you. I'm going to pop over here real quick. Where did Lucy go? She's gone? Okay. Let's, Jama, would you share some words of wisdom with us there, Jama?
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you, Randy, for having me on tonight. I really appreciate it. I really don't know if I have a whole lot of words of wisdom, but I just know that the biggest value is all of us, and we are here to change this world. And if we don't start now and get on the stick, we're in a world of hurt.
Yes, we are. We really are.
I don't know everything about everything, but I am a jack of all trades and a master of none, I guess. But I have a lot that I can share with many people. From the time I was probably 1 year old, I've been fighting real life drama in my life. And I'm still here. And by my faith and the grace of God, I'm still here. My grandmother was a minister for 63 years of her life, and she died at 83. So I've always wondered what my big purpose was in this world. I knew God had a plan for me, and I really didn't know what it was until February of this year, when I found out about how we were lied to with hemp. And then I have this opportunity now to share through FIT. And there's just so much that I want to do to help people. Person is not wealthy. Okay, let me backtrack that. I'm hearing some feedback, so I'm losing my concentration. To be successful, you don't have to be wealthy. A person can be wealthy in their knowledge and in their love and their graciousness and their giving. And that's what I am, because I'm dead broke financially. But I have so much to share. And the biggest thing, I guess, for me is I'm grateful to be here, because 12 years ago I was in a dog attack that they told me I would be dead or in a wheelchair in 5 years. And I told them, well, y'all don't know who I am. And 12 years later, I'm here speaking the truth and trying to help change America. And the greatest product of FIT is you, each and every one of us, and our life experiences. And just getting out and telling the truth and helping others. And you will be successful, and you will be rich.
There's no doubt about that. Thank you so much, Jama. That's the powerful words. Well, we had Lucy on here. I believe she must have had something come up, but I'm going to wrap this up because we're coming up to the top of the hour. I really would like to get this down to even more so compressed, or have it to where we're doing them nightly. I'll start putting these back in the newsroom. But we're having a call for those members tomorrow to be on a conference line call. That number is in the newsroom back there under conference calls, and it will be at 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. So check that number. It's a different number than you're accustomed to, and we will talk about some things about the community and things how we want to handle folks that's coming in, how we don't want to promote austerity or just giving them something, but we want to give everybody an opportunity to grab a hold of this star. In closing, I want to say this, recapping on what's taking place here. You're in the midst of people who care. Every single thing that we have done and what we'll be doing tomorrow on that call, it's going to be about you and how to make it even easier for you, but showing you the work that you need to do. I'll say this, that those people that do grasp what we're truly doing, when the light finally goes off and you realize, oh my goodness, he must have thought that we were all just so silly in the very beginning. Because there will be an epiphany, a moment that you'll realize that you have all this anyway. What we're giving you is, if you've ever wondered if you'd ever be able to, or if you wanted to start a group of your own and have it grow and grow and grow, it self-fund itself, and it also gave a revenue stream for all of its members, we're giving that to you free of charge. You don't have to put a penny into this platform, but of its creation cost. But every single thing that a person can benefit from is yours. So from this point forward, you'll never say that opportunity never came your way, that you never was the one at the top, because guess what? You are at the top. And if you're at the top in this, that would mean that you would have to be the top of one of the others. And even though someone's walking that stage, you're still at the top of yours, but yours isn't happening really fast for you because you're not playing the game right. Over here, we play the game and show you the rules and show you each step to take, and we're not out to get you. We want to be able in 5 years, 10 years, this does not have to go away. This can be your foundation by monetizing your lifestyle, investing in your friends. All that you do is you turn to those 3 or 5 people that's like my 4 or 5 that I'll have or more. You turn and just talk to them like we talked all day today. 9 times out of 10, you won't talk about the fit thing. You'll talk about what's going on in your world. That's what we're monetizing. As long as that once every month, each one of us invest in our own future, invest in our friends' future, we're going to be set. We don't have to worry about products. We don't have to worry about shipping. We don't have to worry about anything except watching our processor, bobbing and weaving when we have to, but we do not give up. If you're sitting out there and you're one of those that has already signed up with the FIT program and you're inactive, I don't know what else I can say. You know, there's some people that just walk around in the world and they're just like on one of those Twilight Zone movies. They really don't look like they have a head, almost robotic. They go up against the window and they're bumping on it, and they're just in everybody's way. They're not there really to do anything except look, but it doesn't even look like they're looking a lot. They're just bumping into everything. Completely rudderless, clueless. That's what it appears to be out there. We won't have any of that. We'll be subject to any of that because we'll be outside of the scope of that. As long as you're keeping your little family happy, you know, your little group of people, the river's going to be always flowing. If you backslide and go out there and start some sort of deal or get involved in some sort of other deal, lose, you know, whatever, the river's still been flowing for you. If you had sense enough to continue to invest in yourself and your friends in the river, that river, you can go to it with looking for a cup full, or you can go to that river and look for a whole wash tub full or a truckload of water full. The river's not going to run dry. It'll always be there for you, as we will. We want to grow together. You cannot imagine the things that we'll run across, that we'll share. That as people start prospering and their minds are freed up to think and create, we're gonna have the opportunity to get involved in a lot of amazing things. I thank everybody for being on this. I thank the panelists down here for coming and sharing your experience. Thank y'all very much. And we want y'all to be on this panel. The reason it didn't load it up is because I sent out about 4 or 5 different links. I don't know what I'm doing. But we're doing our best. We're at least making some effort. We're not sitting on the couch waiting for someone to bring us a deal. We're out here doing the work. We're doing it for those we hadn't met yet. With that said, God bless you. God bless this wonderful country of America and the principles that this country was founded on. She shall rise again based on those principles. God bless this blue planet. Go out tomorrow, smile at a stranger to make you feel real good. This is Randy, a.k.a. Jedi One. This hangout is a wrap. Adios. Bye, y'all.